Why do you think that? We'll talk about it off air. But nobody will know who I'm talking about. I have heard from several folks he's a liar. You think? Why do you think that? We'll talk about it off air. Is that right? We're live everywhere. Good Monday morning, everybody. Thank you for getting on here. If you're not on here live, you get on here later. I appreciate it. If you are on here, do me a huge solid. Hit like. Let me know you're on here. Say something. And as always, please share the stream for me. I'm asking a favor. Did you share? Yeah. Is that a mallard?
Yeah.
On your, is it?
I guess.
Do you know what that is? Where'd you get that hat?
Duck.
How do you know it's a mallard?
It's a duck. I think it's a red tail.
All right, as always, we move into the show with 60 seconds of gratitude. I only see 4 likes. There's more than 4 fucking people in here. Why I've only got 4?
I'm slow.
Thank you, Shannon. Give my likes up. Van, are you liking?
I think I gave 4 likes.
Well, you only get credit for 1. Have you liked?
I've shared, liked, and
Thank you, Randy. All right, here we go. I feel better, okay? Talk about this in a bit. As always, we start each show with 60 seconds of gratitude. Who here would like to speak up and say, I'm thankful for something? What would you like to say, Duckman?
I had a busy weekend this week.
What was so busy? Now, sometimes your busy weekend might be your social hour. You going places. What was so busy this weekend? What was so good? Was it productive?
It was very productive. Had a lot of potential business.
Now, did you have any incoming calls? Did we get information? Did we collect data? Did you put them in the system yet?
Yeah, most of them are in the system.
Most of them.
I need to put one
Why
more.
would they all not be in there?
I need to put one more in the system.
That guy that just called, you ought to put him in the system. Did you get his email? Mm-hmm. You did? God, do you know where he lives?
So for the address.
Shit. We'll talk about developing more systems. Say what?
It was the first call. Like he just called and like.
Best time to get all that information. It's when you can use information. Hey, I need to send you a bunch. Where do I need to send this to? What's your email? Man, it was a rough weekend for me. Last week was it's just been a hard year for me this year. It's been a real hard year. And so Friday, I decided to go play golf. And I went by myself. And I said, I'm going to have me some bourbon out here. And I only played 9 holes. But whenever you get a drink at the country club, like one drink is like a double or a triple. Okay? So whenever I went out there for my 9 holes, I told him I wanted, he gave me a huge drink. Huge. So I'm going home and I got another one. And I got drunk Friday night. I don't know the last time I was drunk. But I was drunk Friday night. I had a few people. Kenny Jones came over. John Jones came over. Don Follis. I don't know if I called anybody else to invite them over or not. Maybe I did. But it was a rough week. And it was a rough day Saturday. Paid the price. You ever had a bourbon hangover?
Oh, yeah. They suck.
The bourbon hangovers hit a little different than like a vodka or a beer hangover.
What's the difference?
It's like a...
They just drain you more.
It just hurts more. It just knocks you to your knees.
Bourbon brings out the emotion.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Today's show topic. How did I word it, Van?
Dealing with the ups and downs of life.
Dealing with the ups and downs of life. We got a lot of young folks. How old are you, Randy?
34.
34, 20, 24, 31, 23. 52.
Almost 2 Joshes.
How old are you?
No, more than 2 Joshes. 52.
52. I'm 50. And here's one thing I have found out. A lot of times what you expect to happen does not happen. And I think happiness in life is about how do you overcome those. But because I got started late in life on trying to get a better life, whenever things don't go my way, historically, I really, really struggle getting back up. My bounce back. It was something that I really had to work through. But I can tell you now, I know some shortcuts. The more you believe in yourself, the easier it is to overcome things. the more times you do what you say you're going to do, the easier it is to overcome things. Because whenever you do what you say you're going to do, it creates this belief in yourself. So whenever we were building this house, we built a house. I don't know if y'all know that or not. I put a lot of that shit on my social media, but because I like to go back and look at it. You know, a year later it pops up. So whenever we're building this house, I really turned all the decision making over to my wife and a decorator. Them decorators, they don't give a damn about that budget. They care about how it looks. So I
Looks great though.
Thank you, Ed. Have you ever been over there?
Yeah.
I didn't know if you've ever been over there or not. Have you ever been invited over there?
Yeah.
Trick question. Funny. So as we're going through this, you know, we've got this budget, and I knew we were going over budget. And I was very concerned. I was telling our loan guy, Shannon Wheeler right here, I was telling him, I have no idea what this house is going to cost. I have no idea what this house is going to appraise for. I had no idea about all this. It was so much uncertainty. And it's hard to be happy when you're uncertain. It's hard to be calm. It's hard to be confident when there's so much uncertainty. So as we're going through this house, I mean, I knew it was coming together and she was making it. It's an awesome house. But the appraisal came back and I thought, you know what? We've got this amount in as the sales price. We're going to be okay. It appraised at that amount. So we're going for it. And Joey, you know, he's in there calculating it up like the day of closing. Maybe the day we got the settlement statement. He's like, dude. Now the day before he said, you're probably going to be 50 or 60 grand over. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay. Well, it's kind of about what I thought. More than the actual sales price. So, you know, I had to come out of pocket for this. Well, come to find out, after all the bills are coming in, it's like $200,000 over. And that money can't be financed in. That's straight out of pocket. That is me sitting there owing my partner, Joey, $200,000. How do you think I felt last week when this was discovered? Stressed. I probably felt like the biggest loser I've ever. I mean, it was the most disappointed I've been in myself.
You were disappointed?
Yeah, I was disappointed. Well, that's a good question, Josh, because how would you feel if you found out you owed me $72,000?
Not good.
What would you feel like if we did this deal together and comes to find out you owed me money? A lot of money.
Like, well, shit, should have done a little bit more research.
It's well, you would probably feel a little you'd feel a little different than that, because it's always been easy for me to let other people down, but it's a lot harder whenever I let other people down. There's a lot of shame that goes along with that. So I'm sitting there and I'm having a little bit of a pity party for a couple of days. You know, I'm bitching, I'm down, don't know what to do, and my wife, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna figure this out. You know, you got me, who we're really dependent upon for the income, and I'm down. And then I got my wife over here, who's my encourager, my cheerleader. But I didn't really want to hear it at the time. The only thing I really wanted to hear was E.H. Taylor, please. Another E.H. Taylor. So that's how I handled it on Friday. So now I'm looking back. How am I going to solve this problem? Am I going to solve this problem by bringing more attention to the shitty outcome? Or am I going to solve it with a solution?
Solution.
200 grand. I mean, and here's the way I'm going to solve this problem is not going to be the way I make my money, because it's going to take forever to come up, you know, to pay somebody back with earned income of $200,000. You really got to make about what, 400 grand? Yeah. So I'm going to have to find creative ways to get this money back to him in quicker spurts. And the biggest problem is believing I can do it. You know, whenever I was watching something, this guy was like, "Hey, whenever somebody says I can't do something, just watch me do it." But what about whenever you're telling yourself you can't do something? So, well, I really feel like this is a test that. It's one of the things I've been talking about for 10 years, about me really not believing in myself enough. Now it's a time to step up and show that I can believe in myself. And the only way I'm going to be able to do this is I got to start somewhere. I gotta start with something. I'm not going to try to figure this all out. I just got to start somewhere. I got to move forward. I got to immediately stop saying I can't do this, because there is a way I'm going to figure out how to do this. So the first thing is, how do I just start producing some money? What am I going to do? What do you think I need to do, Ed?
Well, sell some stuff.
What do you mean sell some stuff? Like my personal stuff I have?
Close some deals.
That ain't going to get me there quick enough.
Or find some deals and then flip them.
It's going to be like I'm going to have to find ways to create chunks of money. Whenever Cardone did Undercover Billionaire, they got dropped off in these different cities, and they had 90 days. These guys and girls had 90 days to see if they could develop $1 million. And he focused on how. Good morning, Danny Ward. Thank you for the compliment on the house.
Went to the trailer park.
Well, he found a way to create $5.5 million worth of equity in 90 days. But most of the time, we look to solve the problem the way we fix all of our problems. I got to start thinking bigger. I got to start thinking faster, because money loves speed. I got to find faster ways to come up with it. But it all starts with me believing. It all starts with this. Quit saying I can't do this. Can't do this. Got to quit saying that. Secondly, I'm going to do this. And I just got to figure out, I could solve this probably with one solution. I just got to find it. So the rest of you may not have this situation, but you all are going to have something that's going to tell you this. How can I do this? As you get older, it gets harder, unless you're successful at an early age. At 35 years old, I moved in with my mama. Hey, John Wesley. I moved in with my mama. Broke as hell. Up until the time I was about 39, then I moved into another house. So most of my memories were unsuccessful. You guys that are young, you've got a chance to build more winning beliefs, habits. It's going to be so the longer it takes for you to become successful, the harder it gets, I believe. Do you believe that?
Say that one more time.
The older you get, the harder it gets for you to become successful. And the only reason is, hey, Austin Kepley, that's a dude that's killing it at a young age. The reason why I believe it's harder the older you get is because you stop believing in yourself. You start doubting yourself. You start to say stuff like this. You start to say, well, that can't be done, because you believe you can't produce these wins. But don't listen to those other people, because the advice I give people whenever I'm telling somebody you can or you can't do it, it's not that I believe you can't. It's I don't believe I could. Everything begins on the inside with your own self-belief. And if you don't have your own self-belief, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And it takes a while to build this. But it all begins with what, Josh?
Belief.
It believes in always doing what you say you're going to do. If I say I'm going to meet with you on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, see, I got to hold that. Because your subconscious remembers all the things you said you didn't do. Shut us down, Vingraf 10.